I am Kamiya, the co-founder and creator of Nia, and today I want to tell you my story. I want to tell you my story because I feel like it is important for us to look at our stories as co-founders, creators, makers, CEOs, CFOs, ABCs, 1, 2, 3s. And also, when we look back on our story, it humbles us. At least it always humbles me, because I always realize that I did not do any of this alone. So I guess Nia's story starts in 2007. In 2007, my grandmother, my father's mother, passed away. It's a happy story, I promise. And my father, who was the youngest, was taking it pretty hard. And one day, 3 months later, he calls me into his room, and he calls me his tiny baby. He goes, "Tiny baby, I haven't spoken to any of your brothers about this yet, but I wanted to tell you about it first." And he pulls out this cardboard. He'd drawn all over it. It was the first vision board I'd ever seen. I was like, "What is this, man?" And he was like, "I want to leave my children a legacy when I go. Your grandmother, when she passed, she left a legacy. And she couldn't leave much else, but she left a legacy. And when I pass, I don't want to just leave you the house. I don't want to just leave you money. I want to leave a legacy." And on this cardboard that he had drawn on, he had cultural importance and my uncle, who is a chef, as the lead chef of this operation, and family behind it. And it was going to be a family operation and legacy in really big letters. And I was like, "Okay, cool, Dad, that's what's up, that's what's up." I was 12, I was like, "Okay, thanks." In 2013, my dad made that vision a reality. He created Willoughby Soul Veg. It's based out of Columbus, Ohio. It's a vegan soul food business. Heck yeah. And my uncle cooks for it. And that entire year in 2013, before I went to the military, I was at every pop-up. And in 2014, when I went into the military, before I went to the military, I told my father that this was a legacy that I wanted to carry on. And he goes, "Tiny baby." I was like, "I'm grown, first of all." He's like, "I know you're gonna make this into your own thing, and I'm so excited to see what you do with it." So in the military, everyone that I met was super excited about what I was doing. They're like, that's dope, that's cool. But nobody matched my passion, my drive for what I wanted to do until I met Tess, my wife. Hello, baby. And I remember telling her about it. She goes, "Oh my God, that's so wonderful. Yes, I want to be a part of it." And if you know my wife, you know that's how she talks. And I just remember being we were doing different things at that point when we first started dating, 2016. And I was like, "I don't want to take away from what you're doing." And I think the first thing that kind of led me to okay, this is the person I want to do this with, is our first Valentine's Day in 2017. She had messaged my mother behind my back secretly. I felt betrayed. And she says, "Kamiya hasn't been able to take leave. She hasn't been able to come home. And she wants a home-cooked meal. Can you guide me to any recipes?" And my mother gave her all family recipes. And I was like, "Oh, great, now I have to marry her." And I did, and I'm so happy I did. And Tess threw down. My mom called me. She's like, "Is it good?" And I was like, "It's delicious." And she goes, "That baby did not have to call me. She did not have to call me for anything. She did that all by herself, and I trust her to cook my food." She made mac and cheese, she made collard greens, she made the cornbread, she made the pickled onions that go on top. She made everything. My baby can cook. And so that was 2017. In 2018, we moved here. I got out of the military in May. I was super excited. I got accepted into CU Denver. I'm ready to start this journey into becoming a business owner. And in July, when we moved here, I was like, I've never worked in a kitchen before. Maybe I should work in a kitchen. I've just been cooking my entire life, but I've never known what a professional kitchen looks like. It was terrible. That was awful. I thought I had left the racism and the sexual harassment behind in the military, and I hadn't. So by the time I got to this point last year, Denver Startup Week last year, I was pretty defeated. I was in the process of quitting my job that week, and I hadn't secured another job. But I told myself I would never be uncomfortable in another job situation again, so I wasn't. And the very first panel I went to was creating equity in funding. There were 5 panelists, and I only remember one because she continues to impact my life daily. At the very end of the panel, I asked a question about sustainability because it's important to Solnia and it's important to, the earth. And the person who I posed the question to, he goes, I can answer the first part of this question, but I can't answer the second part. And Jackie Dietrich, in true Jackie Dietrich form, goes, I can. And she answered it perfectly. And I remember sitting down being like, who's that lady? Who's that lady? And the people were like, that's Jackie Dietrich. She works at the Commons. And I remember not knowing anything about Jackie, not knowing anything about the Commons, not knowing a lot about them at least. A few days later when I told Jackie I wanted to work for her. And she goes, you want to work for me? And I was like, yes. She goes, okay, what are you doing on Monday? And we met on Monday after DSW, and she's like, not only do I want to offer you a position here, but I want you to take our program Co-Starters because I want to give your passion, your drive, your dream some foundation. In October of 2018, my life began to change because I didn't even realize how much I had been trying to do all of this by myself. And then I also didn't realize that I wasn't doing any of this by myself. When my father came to me and he said, baby, I haven't told any of your brothers about this. He was saying, I see you. He continues to send me. He sees me. He sends me daily manifestations every day. He's like, you're doing so great. I love what you're doing. He talks to us. He answers our phone calls every day whenever we call him about questions. When I met Tess and she was super excited about what we were doing, when she cooked her ass off today for 8 hours by herself to feed all of you beautiful people, she wasn't doing it because I'm in love with her. She wasn't doing it because she's like, sure, I'm here. This is convenient for me, whatever. She was saying, I see you. And when Jackie took a meeting with me, hi, Jackie. Hi, Jackie. When Jackie took a meeting with me, continues to take meetings with me, orders T-shirts for me when Vistaprint drops the ball, she's not doing it for any other reason other than she sees me. So I know I'm running short on time, but I want to pose a challenge to you all. If you haven't already tonight, I just want you to see each other. And that can be as simple as saying, oh my God, I love that idea, an email introduction, whatever, a coffee date. Just see each other. Recognition is so important. Recognition is why I'm here. I would not be here, not even a year into my business, without recognition, without somebody saying, I see you, I love your food, I want to hear from you, I want to hear your story. That is important because this shit is hard. It is so hard, but we have each other.